2006, Pluto was kicked out of the planetary family. But in the same year, scientists are farther than Pluto found a bigger guy. Besides, there are thousands more mysterious objects that we have never seen before. It turns out that the world outside Neptune is more lively than we think. You have to work hard again today. Throw you to the ends of the earth in our solar system. See what secrets are hidden there. August 30th, 1992. In human history, the first Kuiper belt object was discovered. The number is 1990 to QB1. Since then, the astronomical world has been like a hang, one after another. Thousands of similar objects were discovered. But that's not the end. Further in the Kuiper belt, there is also a more mysterious area. It's called outer cloud. Scientists believe these objects in the Kuiper belt and the Oort cloud, they are all leftovers left by the birth of the solar system. About 4.6 billion years ago, when the solar system was just formed, these substances failed to merge into large planets. Just like that, he was thrown to the edge of the solar system, staying there billions of years. Today we know the solar system is like a big family. The sun revolves around him by his parents. There are planets and their moons. There are dwarf planets. There are asteroids. There is a Kuiper belt of celestial bodies. There are also comets and Oort clouds. Measure the size of the solar system. We use the concept of astronomical units. An astronomical unit is the distance from the Earth to the Sun, about 150 million kilometers. One of the farthest known celestial bodies from the Sun. It is a dwarf planet system God's star discovered in 2005. It is about 97 astronomical units from the Sun. But at the edge of the solar system, there is also a more mysterious planet. His name is Sedna. His orbital origin, it can reach a staggering 900 AU. But to say the farthest, we also have to count those long-period comets. Their orbits can extend to 50,000 O. And even further, these comets are all from the Oort cloud. It was a comet containing billions of stars, huge spherical area. Kuiper belt. It is often referred to as the marginal zone of the solar system. It is like a large disk. It is located 30 to 50 astronomical units from the Sun. The name, from an astronomer named Gerald Kuiper. He predicted the existence of this area in 1951. In fact, the hypothesis about the Kuiper belt, many astronomers have studied it. Everyone is fighting for it. This hypothesis slowly changed from a conjecture to a theory. Until 1988, an astronomer named Angel Fernandez published a research paper. Several Canadian scientists, according to this paper, did the math, finally confirmed that Neptune is outside. There is indeed a comet belt. Interestingly, it was Fernandez in the paper. This area is called the Kuiper belt. So the name quickly became popular. 1992 astronomers, at a distance of 42 astronomical units from the Sun, a small red dot was photographed. This is the Kuiper belt, the first object to be recorded, also called extraneptunial. So far we have discovered more than 1,000, a large chunk with a diameter of more than 200 km. They both hide outside the orbits of Neptune and Pluto. According to current estimates, objects with a diameter of more than 100 kilometers in the Kuiper belt, there may be as many as 35,000. As for the total number of small celestial bodies, experts estimate that there are billions. So the total mass of the Kuiper belt, it is between Mars and Jupiter, hundreds of times the asteroid belt. Although the Kuiper belt and the asteroid belt are similar in nature, but much larger in scale and quality, scientists are particularly interested in the Kuiper belt. Because of here, celestial bodies may have retained information from the early days of the solar system. It is older than any planet. Short-period comets may be born here, just like long-period comets are born in the Oort cloud. Kuiper belt, mainly small celestial bodies left over from the formation of the solar system. There are also several dwarf planets, including Pluto, which was demoted in 2006. Most of these Kuiper belt objects are composed of ice, mixed with a small amount of organic matter. It is similar in nature to a comet, except for ordinary comet nuclei. Scientists are also on the surface of some Kuiper belt objects. A distinct red color was found. This red, it is considered a marker of carbon and oxygen molecules, that is, organic compounds. This begs an interesting question. Could it be a comet? It brings the raw materials needed for the origin of life to the Earth. But the Kuiper belt is not eternal. Celestial bodies here often crash into dust. A few 100 million years later, the Kuiper belt may disappear without a trace. Speaking of dwarf planets, this concept only officially appeared in 2006. At that time, scientists were outside the orbit of Neptune. Some were found to be about the same size as Pluto, even larger celestial bodies. This sparked a big discussion. What exactly is a planet? Presently, a dwarf planet recognized by the International Astronomical Union. There are 5 Pluto, Make, and Pregnancy. There is also a location between Mars and Jupiter, Archimedes in the asteroid belt. These objects are called dwarf planets because they revolve around the Sun. The mass is large enough, compress itself into a near spherical shape. But I don't have the ability to empty myself. Other objects in orbit. You must know that a celestial body is going to become spherical. It must have enough mass to counter its own gravity. Internal pressure shapes the surface into a smooth sphere. Asteroids can't do that. These dwarf planets are generally, there is a layer of ice on the outside. Inside is a rock core. They mostly revolve around the Sun in the Kuiper belt. Belongs to a family called the Pluto family. International Astronomical Union regulations. In the outer celestial bodies of Neptune, only those with a diameter of more than 838 kilometers can be considered dwarf planets. There are currently 5 officially recognized dwarf planets. There are still about 200 pending confirmation. The total number of potential dwarf planets could exceed 1,000. Candidates include the King Shenzhen 2002 MS4, Coral Gong star and Sedna. Let's talk about Pluto first. He is the second largest dwarf planet in the solar system. It is second only to the star of the system. Pluto was originally the 9th largest planet in the solar system. It is now classified as a dwarf planet in the Kuiper belt. Like most Kuiper belt objects, Pluto is mainly composed of rock and ice. Relatively small. It is 5 times more massive than the Moon. It is 3 times the volume of the Moon. Pluto's orbit is flat and oblique. The angle with the ecliptic plane is very large, because the orbital eccentricity is large. When Pluto is closest to the Sun, only 29.60. The Pluto system includes 6 celestial bodies. They are connected by gravity. In addition to Pluto and its largest moon Charon, there are also 4 smaller satellites. Pluto and Charon form a binary star system. Their center of mass is outside Pluto. This is because the quality of Charon is quite large, about 12% of Pluto's mass. Pluto's composition is mainly water ice. The total amount of water is 3 times that of the Earth's oceans. The surface is covered with an ice crust. You can see the obvious ridge, light and dark areas, and a string of craters. Pluto has a mass of more than 10 to the power of 22 kilograms, about 0.2% of the Earth's mass. ranks second among dwarf planets. Its atmosphere is thin. It is mainly evaporated from the surface ice, nitrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide. According to thermodynamic theory, the atmospheric composition should be 99% nitrogen, less than 1% carbon monoxide. There is also 0.1% methane. When Pluto is far from the Sun, the atmosphere gradually freezes and settles to the surface. When it is close to the Sun, surface temperature increases. The ice sublimates into gas. This creates an anti-Earth effect. Just like sweat evaporates to cool the body, sublimation also cools Pluto's surface. Scientists recently calculated Pluto's surface temperature is about -230 degrees Celsius. Pluto's orbit, the angle with the ecliptic plane is more than 17 degrees. The eccentricity is also very large. It is almost round from the other planets in the solar system. Orbits close to the ecliptic plane are very different. The average distance from Pluto to the Sun is 39 astronomical units. But because the orbital eccentricity is large, this distance varies between 29 and 49. It takes about 5 hours for sunlight to reach Pluto. Radio signals travel from Earth to Pluto, nearby detectors. It's also so long. Pluto has 5 moons. The largest and closest is Charon. In 1978, he was married to James. Christy found on old photos. The others are called Styx and Nix, Cerberus and Hydra. The mass of Charon, Styx, and Cerberus, enough to form a sphere. But Nix and Hydra look elongated. 2007 scientists on Charon, crystals and ammonia hydrates were observed. Indicates that Pluto may have active ice, volcanoes, and underground oceans. These moons may have been at the dawn of the solar system. It formed after the collision of Pluto and another large object. Early 20th century, scientists have been looking for Planet X. It is now called the 9th planet. Because Uranus' trajectory is somewhat irregular, the result was March 13, 1930. American astronomer Clyde Tombaugh discovered Pluto. Later I learned that Pluto was too small. It is impossible to influence Uranus. Deviations in Uranus' orbit. Later interpretations were obtained. In fact, Neptune's mass was mismeasured at that time. Since 1992, scientists are outside the orbit of Neptune. Many frozen objects have been discovered, including Kuiper, especially the gods. Its mass is 27% greater than that of Pluto. Astronomers realize Pluto is nothing more than Kuiper belt. It's just a relatively large celestial body. August 24, 2006. Scientists from the International Astronomical Union expel Pluto from the list of planets. Moved on to the dwarf planets category. The Pleiades are considered the largest dwarf planets in the solar system. It is also the largest extra-Neptunian object in the Kuiper belt. It's too big. Some even call it the 10th planet. Officially confirmed in 2005, the discovery of the star is an important moment because it is larger than Pluto. It prompted scientists to redefine planets. The concept. When found, scientists thought they had found the 10th planet. Because this Kuiper belt is larger than Pluto, someone agreed. But there are also those who start arguing about its nature. At that time, there was no clear standard for the definition of a planet itself. The International Astronomical Union had to come forward in 2006, propose a new classification standard. It was found. Some celestial bodies, including Pluto, it does not meet the last requirement. So they proposed the star category of dwarf planets. The diameter of the star is about 2,400 kilometers. It is about 6% larger than Pluto's diameter. Its quality, It was determined by its small moon Deinomia. The satellite has an orbital period of 16 days. It takes 558 years for a star to orbit the Sun. The farthest distance is 97 AU. The closest distance is 37 astronomical units. The orbital eccentricity is large, but not near Neptune, so it is not affected by Neptune. The star is very bright. It can be seen with a small telescope. Radioactive decay indicates that it may have a liquid state inside. Marine scientists have found methane ice on the surface. The surface may be similar to Pluto's sample. Surface temperature. It fluctuates between -243 and -217 degrees Celsius. The third largest dwarf planet is Makemake, originally numbered 2005. FY9 May 31, 2005, by the team of Mick Brown at Caltech, discovered with the Spitzer Space Telescope. This extra-Neptune object is still mysterious to this day. The data shows Makemake has a diameter of 1,480 kilometers. The mass is 4 × 10 by 21 power kilograms. It is the third largest among objects outside Neptune. Eccentricity 0.159. So Makemake is closest to the Sun at 5.76 billion kilometers. The farthest reaches 7.94 billion kilometers. It takes 309 years to orbit the Sun. The rotation period is 7.77 hours. Makemake orbits far from Neptune, not affected by this ice giant. The average density is 1.4 to 3.2 grams per cubic centimeter. It indicates that this celestial body has a rocky core and ice crust. The ice layer is frozen methane and ethane. Herschel and Galileo telescope shows the surface layer is bright. Cocon is red. It indicates that there is a high concentration of phosphorus on the ice. It has no significant atmosphere, but methane can form a transitional atmosphere. Indeed, when dwarf planets are close to the Sun, sublimation of nitrogen and other ice, thin atmosphere is formed. This may explain the loss of nitrogen. The pregnant star is not only slender in shape, and the density and albedo are high. It is not spherical. Instead, it is ellipsoidal. The first number of the Gemini star was 2003816. It's about the same size as Makemake. It is the Kuiper belt, one of the most famous extra-Neptune objects. Parameters of this dwarf planet, density and mass, are difficult to determine. It is bright and large. Albedo can be calculated. But because the spin is too fast, it is difficult to calculate the actual size. Because of the high reflectivity, he is the third brightest object in the Kuiper belt. After Pluto and Makemake, he was too bright. Sometimes you can see it with a large amateur telescope. Although the mass is only 32% of Pluto's, the estimated diameter is 1,632 kilometers. The mass is 1/3 of Pluto's. The mass of the star is sufficient to achieve hydrostatic equilibrium. That is, it should be spherical. Its elongated shape is caused by rapid rotation. The star is 5.23 billion kilometers away from the Sun. The farther is 7.7 billion kilometers. The orbital period is 284 days. Orbital inclination 28 degrees. Rotation period 3.9 hours. The density is between 2.6 to 3.3 grams per cubic centimeter. It's about the same as our Moon. In this case, Gemini may be composed of silicate minerals. For example, peridot and limestone. We can speculate that most of the mass is rock. It is covered with a thin ice shell. The mantle may have been much thicker in the past, but it was worn out by numerous impacts. There is a large dark red area on one side of the surface. It may be a scar from an ancient impact. Traces of minerals and organic compounds are left behind. Objects outside Neptune refers to objects with larger orbits than Neptune, all in the Kuiper belt. Pluto is 1930, the first object discovered in this belt. In 2012, there are already 1,400 extra-Neptune objects in the solar system. By 2021, there were about 3,000. The largest of them are 9 with a diameter of more than 800 kilometers, including the dwarf planet Pluto, Makemake and Makemake, and those that have not yet officially obtained dwarf planet status, Sedna Kuiper, the king god Sarasivaluna and Ixion. Generally, the Kuiper belt is divided into 3 categories. The first category is classical celestial bodies. The track is close to circular. The inclination angle is not large. It is not related to planetary movements. The most famous dwarf planets are mainly in this category. For example, Pluto, the gods, and the Makemake. The second category is sim-seismic objects. Orbital resonance with Neptune to 2-3. The resonant is called the Tomorrow body. Named after them are the brightest. Represents Pluto. It means that they circled the sun twice. Neptune makes 3 revolutions. These include Las Rex and Ixion. The third category is discrete celestial bodies. The orbital eccentricity is large. The aphelion may be hundreds of O away from the sun. It is said that these objects were too close to Neptune a long time ago. Neptune's gravitational pull lengthened their orbits. Sedna is a prime example of this category. Today, Sedna is considered Kuiper belt, the farthest celestial body. Sedna's size and distance. Scientists cannot judge accurately. What kind of cosmic celestial body does it belong to? There are all kinds of hypotheses. But astronomers already know its color composition, even detailed track characteristics. Sedna orbital period 10,500 years. The diameter is slightly larger than 1/4 of Pluto. It has a long track. The farthest point is 900 astronomical units from the Sun, compared with Pluto's orbital radius is 38 astronomical units. Sedna is quite big. The diameter is about 1,000 kilometers. It is the 6th largest of the extra-Neptune objects. Ingredients of Sedna. It is through 3 tracks, a series of spectral studies of telescopes, calculated, and other exoplanets of Neptune. Comets and gas giants have similar satellite compositions. Scientists have found signs of water ice. There is also ice that freezes organic matter. Astrophysicists estimate the final density of Sedna is 2 grams per cubic centimeter. It is about the same density as ordinary salt. Sedna is particularly attractive to astronomers. His mysterious orbital distance. It may reveal the secrets of the history of the formation of the solar system. And these histories are now mainly theoretical speculations. Other than that, Sedna itself is a real archaeological monument. Because she is isolated from other celestial bodies, it retains the properties of the original matter of the solar system. Quarrel is 2002. Scientists at the Palomar Observatory in California discovered it. Celestial Body 2, named by the god of the Tonga Indians. It has a diameter of 1,260 kilometers. It is about 1/10 of the diameter of the Earth and 1/3 of the diameter of the Moon, half the diameter of Pluto. Core orbit at a distance of 42 astronomical units from the Sun. The orbital period is 288 years. Its orbit is almost circular. The inclination angle is moderate. The angle to the ecliptic plane is about 8 degrees. Core is classified as a classical extra-Neptune object. But this orbit is for large classical objects. Unusual, because they usually take more eccentric and inclined tracks. Though Lushen has not yet been recognized by the International Astronomical Union, officially classified as a dwarf planet. but many astronomers believe he ticks all the boxes. 业除必因的 future. The star of the king was discovered in 2004. It is a large extra-Neptune object. The diameter is about 958 kilometers. In addition, the albedo of Lus is about 21% to 25%. This is close to 1,000 kilometers in diameter. Objects outside Neptune, typical of. In terms of quality, Luo Shen star system. It is estimated that there are dwarf planets about 3.8% of the mass of the star. Same with Pluto. The orbital period of Lus Shengsen is very long. It takes 245 years to orbit the Sun. It also forms a 2 to 3 orbital resonance with Neptune. At perihelion, it is above the ecliptic plane, and its orbital inclination and eccentricity are all similar to Pluto. Lus is 30 astronomical units away from perihelion, aphelion 48 astronomical units. However, Pluto and Lus are in different directions. On the one hand, when Pluto is at perihelion, the king star is at the aphelion, vice versa.